we never planned to be in the music business to begin with. I never planned to be in show business to begin with. I mean, we were working as a musician and a performance artist, making a project that was sort of our strange fantasy of show business. So really my dream was, at that point, I imagined we were going to do, the project to me had a expiration date, and it was supposed to be the turn of the millennium. We started in 98. I was like, okay, I want to do, it really came out of this whole Y2K paranoia. And so I was like, all right, if we really are going to die, I kind of just want to party like it's 1999. And so I just want to wear a jockstrap and coat myself in baby oil and glitter and just dance like a motherfucker, excuse me. And so that was really the initial impulse. And so I was really planning to be done. And really the ultimate goal was to stage all the material in a gallery and treat it more like a gallery project. So we started that way. We went that way. And then it just went out of our control. Oh, it's completely different. You know, I discourage any Fisher Spooner fan from ever seeking this album out. It's not for them, you know. I mean, unless you really are kind of interested in me personally. But stylistically, it's such a departure. You know, I think that it's also been really challenging to get this record out because it's so different and because it isn't really sort of a continuation of the work that I've done for the past decade. It's basically like being a new artist and starting over. But yeah, I like this record because it has a effortlessness to it, and it has a kind of intimacy, and it has a real emotional range to me that I'm not sure always makes it past the style of Fisher Spooner. You know, I really believe in everything that I do in Fisher Spooner, but sometimes I think that people can't hear me because there's so much happening. There's so much happening visually. There's so much happening. There's so many layers that are sort of people are being assaulted with. And so for me, I feel like this record is one of the first times that you can actually hear what I'm saying. So for me, it's really a lot about the language, the words, the lyrics. And I feel like because everything else has sort of receded, you can connect to the stories, to the text, you know, to the ideas that are lyrical instead of visual. Oh my God. Well, that tour was one of the kind of most crazy, brutal things I've ever put myself through because, I mean, I feel like I have done it all. Like I could perform in any situation without so many things. I have been able to, I really have become a trooper. And this record has been, I've been trying to figure out how to release it for a while. And Jake and everybody in the Scissor Sisters, you know, love the song, love the album, and they were really pushing for me to start to get it out. And I ran into them in Japan, and they were like, listen, you really, you should come on tour with us, and you should open for us on the North American tour with this album. And at first, I just was like, you guys, I don't have a label. I'm in Japan. I'm supposed to be, you know, I don't have time. When am I going to rehearse this thing? How am I going to make a show? It's impossible. I cannot do it. And about a day later, I don't know. I just was like, you know what? You're crazy. Like, you should just do it. Just do it. Just come up with some crazy idea and just go on tour. Who cares? And so I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And I had about 3 weeks, and there was no label in place, and there was no musicians rehearsed, and there was no time, and I was already committed for like a DJ tour, and I was in Asia. So we had to reconfigure everything, cancel everything, start scrambling, start trying to raise funds, pull the whole thing together, start to come up with an idea. And it ended up that, all the stems and all the tracks were on a computer in LA that hadn't been touched. The engineer was on vacation in Hawaii. I mean, it was just like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. But we powered through. I got the tracks. We started trying to piece it together, and I just had to decide, like, okay, fine, this is going to be a track show. I'm just going to walk out there. I'm going to sing the songs. It has to be a very simple idea. It's just going to be me, a microphone, a spotlight, and a curtain. That's it. No video, no dancers, no nothing. Just simple and classic. And so I started working on the show, and ultimately I was able to start working on the show, I think, on the Monday before I left on tour that Thursday. I love a challenge, and apparently that's one of the most challenging. I'd like to take over for Regis. That would be my dream. I love Regis and Kelly. I'm devastated that he's leaving the show. I've been so into Regis and Kelly. I feel like I knew that he was going to leave because I've been really into their show this season, and I've been really into him as a performer. I just love older performers, and so, I mean, I could in no way would be the same kind of performer. But yeah, I also tried to be the host of Price is Right. I got an audition for The Price is Right, and I really thought I could turn that into an amazing part. But I guess I was a little too edgy for the senior citizens of America.